Hi everyone, we are on the 4th of December 2023 and it's time again for Festive Tech Calendar. Today's topic will be AKS and Cilium, a love story. There's another thing that we need to talk about on the 4th of December. This is my daughter's birthday, so happy birthday, Emma. Moving on the agenda. So, on our agenda, we'll start by reviewing the networking option for the worker plane in Kubernetes and specifically AKS. After that, we'll have a look at the Cilium in the Kubernetes landscape and go back to what it's supposed to do from the beginning and how it's doing it. And then we'll play a bit with Cilium on an AKS cluster, focusing on some network feature rather than other, because we have to make some choice and we don't want to spend too many time together anyway. Okay, and before that, before the end, we'll summarize what we discussed and talk about what we could do with Cilium afterward. Okay, network option for the worker plane. So, going back to the beginning of Kubernetes in Azure AKS, we have Kubenet and Azure CNI as the two main options, the two available options for configuring the network for the workers. So Kubenet is the default network configuration, and you can see on the schema on the left that it uses a kind of NAT so that the pods are reachable from outside. Which means that pods and node don't see each other in terms of IP range, and they are both isolated from one another. And so it's quite easy to configure the network when we create a Kubernetes cluster. That's probably why it's the default network configuration. On the other hand, this is not recommended for production environment. First, because at least before, but it's less and less true, we had less feature available on Kubernetes, and still true today. We have some latency that may be added due to the fact that we have a NAT over there when we try to reach pods from outside. The other option is Azure CNI, and Azure CNI is recommended for production environment because it onboards all the feature of AKS. So, for instance, Windows Node Pool, virtual nodes, and stuff like that. And because we have a bridge instead of a NAT, we don't have this latency for traffic between pods and something else in Azure. The counterpart to that is that when we plan for an Azure CNI cluster, we need to plan the IP range accordingly because we'll consume IP both for pods and for nodes. So the size should be big enough for the IP range, and also we need to go and claim a big IP range if we are in a connected virtual network model, meaning not only one virtual network outside and disconnected from everything. So that was our two options. Kubernetes with its lack of capabilities and maybe lack of performance, and Azure CNI with better performance, but also huge consumption of IP range. Fortunately, it changed, and we have other options. The first one being Azure CNI Overlay, which is the best of both worlds. Azure CNI Overlay is using an overlay for the pod's IP range, the same way as we do it for Kubernetes, but we don't have the same limitation in terms of performance. If we have a look at the page for the documentation, let's see that it would be there, Azure CNI Overlay. You can see that the pod connectivity performance is on par with VM in the VNet. So we have tackled this issue with Azure CNI Overlay. We have some other issue, so one of those being that we cannot use application gateway as an ingress controller, but anyway, application gateway ingress controller is moving out to be changed for an API gateway solution, as should be for nearly all the ingress controller solution. The next solution that we have is Azure CNI powered by Cilium. And see, we start to talk about Azure CNI, Azure AKS, and Cilium. So what is Azure CNI powered by Cilium? This is an Azure managed CNI that uses Cilium in the background. How is it working? We'll have a look at that afterward. But suffice to say that we bring to the table some of Cilium capabilities, not all in this way, and we are still managed in terms of network by Azure, which is kind of ideal because we don't want necessarily to manage an IP range. So Azure CNI powered by Cilium is over there, and you can see here the listed limitation. We'll go back to that later. If I go back to my slide, the last section, the last available option is bring your own CNI. So as the name implies, we can bring your own CNI in an AKS cluster, and then we can deploy, for instance, Cilium, the open source version. The counterpart on that is that we have no support for Microsoft for everything that is related to the CNI, and we need to be very good at managing the CNI in a Kubernetes environment. The positive part is that, well, we can choose the CNI that we want and do everything that we have to do on it. Which this is what we'll do during our little practical part to do some testing. Moving on, I'm finished with. Oh no, I have something else to do to take. With the bring your own CNI, there is one additional feature that is, well, no, not feature, but deployment option that is available if we want to use Cilium. This is an enterprise Cilium from Isovalent, which is the company running developing Cilium, and we can deploy an Isovalent managed Cilium cluster from the marketplace, which means that we will have an AKS cluster on one side, managed by Microsoft, and the CNI, which will be managed by your Isovalent contract and support. So that means you will have two teams managing your cluster, but there's the chance that you don't manage yourself the CNI and the relation between for everything that is related to the CNI. So that can be good if you want to consider the production environment. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about that. Let's move on and now talk about Cilium in the Kubernetes landscape. Before that, I want to again step back and define some definitions. So we talked about CNI. CNI since the beginning. CNI stands for Container Network Interface, and the Container Network Interface is a specification definition that we find a lot for all the container stuff interface that define the standard for the provider to develop their solution. So what we will give is a specification so that, for instance, we can give a format for administrator to define network configuration, or we can get a protocol for container runtime to make requests to network plugin, or a procedure for executing plugins based on supplied configuration, or stuff like that. If we have a look at the documentation, there's a GitHub page for that that we can see over there that define all the specificities, and this is way beyond the scope of this talk today, so we won't go further on that. Still about Cilium and its landscape, we need to talk about eBPF because Cilium is leveraging eBPF in the background. So eBPF is the short for Extended Berkeley Packet Filter, and it's one way. It's a new way of writing programs so that they can interact with the Linux kernel without having to manage kernel extension. So the program runs in sandboxes, and they relies on the just-in-time compiler that allows us to add feature to the OS without adding the stuff directly in the kernel. So we can find some documentation for that. ebpf.io. And if we have a look at that, it's over there. So we have ebpf.io. What is eBPF, I think, in the documentation. I forgot to write that correctly. Oh, come on. And that's it. This is the page that I wanted to share with you. So this is the description of what is eBPF, how it works, how we can write a program that will use eBPF. On our side, we just want to remember that we have the just-in-time compiler to run sandbox program within the OS kernel without doing some extension. And typically, as you can see on the schema, we can even interact with the network, which is what we do with Cilium. Okay, and now if we have a look at the Cilium feature, Cilium is a CNI, so it's following the CNI specification, but it also brings other features due to the implementation of eBPF, such as native network observability with Able. We will see about that later. Advanced network policy option, we also have a look at that, which means that we can do more than what we do with the classic network policy in Kubernetes, and we also have options for encryption using either IPsec or WireGuard. We'll just see how we can do that in terms of deployment, and we can also put in place authentication so that we can force the microservice to authenticate each other, and we use for that SPIF with the Spire server. Okay, that's it for this first part. If I want to have a look at the Isovalent product now, just to compare the feature between product, I can do that way. Let's switch to the proper screen, and if I have a look over there, I can see the different features available between either the open source or the enterprise. So remember, if I do bring your own CNI, which is what I will do, I will get open source. If I want to have an enterprise version, I need to either be on premise or use the marketplace version. There's in the integration, we should see integration with Azure. You can see that for the Cilium Enterprise, we don't have that with open source, which makes sense. That does not mean that the version that we use with the Azure CNI powered by Cilium is the enterprise version. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because it might be, but a lot of things are not available yet. But we'll have a look at what is available in the configuration afterward. So those are the different features available. So we have already a lot of those features available with only the open source, so that's enough for us to play. Okay, moving on now. Let's go to the practical stuff. So if you want to deploy a cluster with Cilium, we need to consider the configuration for the cluster creation. So if we consider bring your own CNI configuration, we need to specify at the creation time that we won't use a network plugin, so we will set it to none. If we want to do it an Azure CNI powered by Cilium, we need to specify the network plugin to Azure because this is an Azure CNI. We need also to specify the network plugin to be in overlay mode, and then we'll specify network data plane to Cilium. A little word of caution on that, we will need, at least for now, the AKS preview command line because it's using the AKS command line preview to deploy, and if this command line is not up to date, we may have some issue. For instance, the network data plane Cilium not being available because at first it was not the way we deployed Cilium for Azure CNI. Okay. So now that I've said that, what about switching to the practical part and have a look at the creation of a cluster. So I have already created a group, a resource group. list. Okay, so I have a lot of group. Let's just show the one I want to get. That's also group N RG Festive Tech. I will zoom a little bit because this is a bit small. So I have I have one resource group, so I will create a virtual network for this cluster for my future cluster. So let's do that. So I want to do a network, so I will do az vnet network vnet create minus name. Let's call it vnet festive tech 3 because I already created 1 and 2 minus g rg hyphen festive tech 2003 and we specify the address prefix which will be small because we don't need a lot of IP address, so let's do that. 10.112.0.0/24 and so once this is finished, I will create a subnet and then I will create a cluster. I will probably create a second virtual network so that I can show you the creation of both bring your own CNI and what did I want to say? Bring your own CNI and CNI Azure CNI powered by Cilium. So let's do the subnet creation. Az network vnet subnet create. It's not working because I mistype that. Minus n sub aks 10.112.0.0/26. We need to specify the VNet name, and that would be this one. Oh, I did not specify the resource group. And we will be good to go in a few seconds. Right, perfect. So now we need to create the cluster. So let's do that. Az aks create. Let's call it aks festive tech 3. Then we have a bunch of parameter that we want to specify. The location maybe. Location East US. Then we need to specify the manage identity, load balancers queue. No, this is not what I should do. Load balancers queue, standard. Network plugin will be set to none, as I said. Enable cluster autoscaler. What should I add also? The VNet, the subnet, VNet subnet ID, which is nice because I just have it here. No. Let's check that. What did I write? It seems to be okay. I specified that I want to use network plugin none, specified the network, so we should be good to go. Okay, so let's type enter. See the AKS preview command line as I mentioned. So it's preparing to run. Even if I said no wait, then we'll do the second one. In the meantime, we can prepare the same resource, the same command. So what did I do? Network. This time let's create another subnet, another VNet, then another subnet. And then we can prepare our command to create the cluster. So let's do something like that. I know what I forgot on my cluster. Anyway, I correct that afterward. Let's paste that. So I can do. Oh no, not like that. Sorry. It looks a little big. So network plugin Azure, load balancers queue, VNet subnet ID. So this is not the one that I want to use. So let's specify the proper one. But I have it just here. Enable cluster autoscaler, yes, why not? I forgot to specify the admin group object ID, which I will need to do manually. And then, as I said, we specify network plugin mode overlay and network data plane Cilium, and also no wait. So let's press enter. It will work, and then we can describe what we've said earlier. Is this one going on? Still going on, so we'll have to wait. And this one is also going on, so we have to wait for that. So once we have deployed our cluster, we have some additional steps to do, such as installing the CNI. So we can have a look on the documentation for that. This is quite well documented, and it explains us what we should do. So I will just type that, install Cilium. So we get redirected to the documentation on the Cilium docilium.io. So you can see for AKS, we can specify specifically an AKS installation, we need to have first the Cilium CLI, which is installable either with some command line, or we can get the CLI directly on GitHub, and then we need to install Cilium by using this command line once we have the Kubernetes context set. We can also do that through Helm, sorry. Where is it? Install Cilium. Check. I used to see it earlier. Installing using Helm, and to that we need to specify the repo over there. If I check that, no, over there I should see that my repo is already available. Helm repo update, and you can see that I do have Cilium chart repository. So now I need to verify that my cluster are available. I don't know yet because I used the no wait switch, so I will check that. You can see I have 2 running clusters already that I will be able to use afterward, and I also have this new cluster that I just deployed, and this one also that I just deployed. If I check this one, the Azure CNI powered by Cilium, what do I get? Well, succeeded running, so it means that it's running, so it should be good. And then I also have this one, which is also succeeded running. Let's have a look at those clusters from the portal for a change. If we look at the node pool over there, we can see that we have 2 or 3 nodes. Depending on that, we have 3 nodes. They are ready, perfect. And we can see that it's scaling down, so we probably get only 2 afterward. If we go to the workloads and check the resources, you can see that we have a Cilium operator available. We have something not available here, but I think it's not really important for now, but we'll see that afterward. So Cilium operator has been deployed, but not by us. Okay. If I go now to the other one, the one with bring your own CNI, you can see that there is more pods that are not running. Let's check first the node pools. So I have 1 node pools with 3 nodes, and they are in not ready status. So I can maybe start interacting with my cluster from the command line. So let's get the credential for this cluster. AZ AKS get credentials. Yes, Festive Tech 3 RG Festive Tech 2003. Okay, and let's do the same for the 4th cluster. Okay, let's clear that. If I'm checking my current context, I'm on AKS Festive Tech, perfect. So let's do that. Let's have a look first at AKS powered by Cilium, right? So let's get the nodes. They are in ready state. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. If I'm doing now a Cilium status, wait, hopefully it will work. And if not, I have a ready cluster. Okay, so you can see that Cilium is ready, but not everything is installed. I can check the specificities of the installation by looking at the Helm release, because there is an Helm release, Helm list -s kube system. There is a Cilium release, so let's do an Helm get values. Yes. And specify Cilium. And we have a very basic configuration. Okay, environment, Azure Public Cloud, version Kubernetes, and we don't see anything configured yet. Operator availability true, policy enforcement mode default, global. Okay, so that seems to do the job. Maybe I can check if I can install some stuff, because remember, if I go back to my configure Azure CNI overlay powered by Cilium, it's written here that I don't have Hubble available. But can I install Hubble myself? So Hubble, as I mentioned, is the native observability tool available from our cluster. So if I want to install Hubble, oh sorry, this is not what I wanted to do. I want to do Cilium Hubble introduction, setting up Hubble observability. So I can do that either through Cilium CLI, but I will do that with the command line over there. So you can see that I can just do an upgrade and specify the reuse value, and then that I want to use Hubble relay and Hubble UI. So let's copy all of that and install it and see what's happened, because let's do that before. If you have a look at that, you can see that Hubble is disabled. Okay, can I change that? Upgrade fail. Cilium template, so it doesn't seem to be working, which is to be expected. So we do have a deployment, but we don't do it, and we don't seem to have the end on it. But well, anyway, we wouldn't get support on it if we change it. So that's maybe for the best. So let's switch cluster. So okay, config get context. Okay, config use context case StiffTech 3. So I'm using it now. Let's clear that. Let's do okay get nodes, and you can see the nodes are not ready. Let's go back to the installation. Installing installing using Helm. Okay, so how we do that? You can see the command line over there. We are supposed to do the same way as we did the upgrade. This time we are just doing the installation. We specify AKS bring your own CNI and the node in it. So copy all, switching back over there. I'm on the product one, right? So copy paste. We need to wait for it to be deployed. And once it's deployed, we'll see that the nodes are getting ready with time. So the release has been deployed. If I'm doing a get nodes, it's not ready yet. But if I'm doing we can see that the Cilium pods are initiating, and some of the other pods are waiting. So let's do again a get nodes, but this time with the watch parameter. So you can see that 2 are ready and 1 is not ready. So we'll need to wait for that and see what happens afterward. Okay, so let's why did I stop that? Let's wait for it. So is it ready now? Get nodes. They are all ready. So if I'm doing a Cilium status wait, you can see that my cluster has Cilium installed. Can I do the installation that I did earlier in my other environment? It was this one, I guess. No, not this one. So it should be somewhere earlier. No, not install. I want to do the upgrade one. Okay, so that seems to be good. I want to upgrade so that I can get Hubble this time. And once I get it, I should have a change in my Cilium status. Okay, good. Can I verify that? Oh, again. And this time you can see that Hubble relay is enabled. So we did install it. So I also have the Hubble command line. I'll show you that after in the next in a few minutes. So I did the installation. I have one cluster with Bring Your Own CNI, one cluster with Azure CNI powered by Cilium, but I cannot install anything else from Cilium on this one because, well, this is not the aim of this feature. We need to wait for it to be available. So moving on. Oh no. I want to discuss a bit about the Cilium network policy and then Hubble, and then I will just explain a few things. But Cilium network policy, as I said, are no, I did not say that, but those are CRD, custom resource definition, that bring some additional feature compared to the classic network policy. So you can see on the left side we have a classic network policy. In the middle we have a network policy from Cilium network policy, which is only using level 4 configuration. So we do it similarly to what we do with the classic network policy. And then we have another network policy that is allowing us to be more restrictive on the traffic that we want to allow. I'll detail that afterward, but for now, just remember that we can do more with Cilium network policy, such as level 7 and FQDN filtering, which is quite interesting. If I go after that, this is what we'll show, we'll have a look after with Hubble. We can get either a UI or a CLI tool with Hubble to get visibility in the network traffic inside Kubernetes, which is something that was terribly lacking up until now. We can also do some easy mutual authentication. For that we use Spire and Spiff. So the workload are authenticated on the workload API, and they can be authenticated through the Spire cluster. So I will just show you the installation after that. And last but not least, we can also manage the encryption. We have two ways to manage the encryption, either through IPsec or through WireGuard. And again, the same thing as you can see here. We can upgrade the Cilium deployment and specify the encryption to be enabled and to use the encryption type to WireGuard. So that's it for now. So let's do some additional things. Switching back to this one. So I have one cluster available. I want to deploy a bunch of resources. So I will do a namespace first. Then I will deploy a deployment, a basic deployment with an Nginx image. Then I will expose this Nginx based service with the service type load balancer. Okay, so if I do a get all from this namespace, I should have a service available with a public IP over there. Perfect. So I can probably curl it. Ah. It's not working yet because I made a mistake. And I can also get this IP address and maybe go into the navigator over there. It will be this one, and do that. Okay, we can see that I do have my Nginx available. I can curl it also. So for now, this is just basic. What I want to check is maybe some Hubble, right? So to check some Hubble configuration, we need to first enable it from Cilium. So Cilium Hubble port forward. And now I can do on this side Cilium. This is and it will probably open a new window. Perfect. And you can see here my basics, and you can see for now that the traffic is working as it should be because I've not blocked anything yet. Switching back to that, let's have a look now at how I can manage some configuration. So I want to deny everything with a default deny CNP option. So I will match the label org festive tech, which is the label of my deployment that I can see over there. So I have app basic deploy org festive tech. So this is it. So let's do this one. Okay, I can also add, or maybe I can curl it now. Okay, let's try it. And if I go back to my UI, I should see now that the traffic is dropped, which is as it should be. So that's nice because I can see the traffic being denied. If I want to see it from Hubble observe. This is the basic. You can see policy deny from the world to my basic deploy pods, which is okay. This is what I wanted to see. What if I want to be more specific into allowing it, and then if I want to also show some level 7 authentication. So I have one for that. I will start by denying the default deny egress. This is not this one. Default deny egress. This one. Okay, so I will deny egress traffic on my workload with the label org festive tech. I will also deploy another pod just to show you that I can be specific into some authorization. Okay, and now what I want to do is well, check on my deployment the traffic. So we have two pods, so I can do a k exec -n basics. It will complete. And I will do and I will do a curl minus and it should not work because I denied all the traffic, right? Can I check that again maybe on the UI over there? I can see any verdict dropped. Not very visible here. So let's try to do it from the command line. It will be better. So let's do a Hubble observe. Basics slash come on. and you can see the traffic that is dropped to reach core DNS, which is why it does not resolve the DNS, and that's why it's not working. So let's try to allow that with the allow egress DNS. I think I have this one. This one is much better. So on this one, as you can see, I'm using egress match label to kubedns application, which is well core DNS. I allow the port 53, and then I also the traffic to the FQDN Google. So let's apply this one. And now let's exec again from my pod to see if I can reach Google. It seems to be working, but if I'm trying to reach not Google but GitHub, it's not working as expected. And if I'm doing enable observe again, we can see that the traffic is dropped to GitHub due to my policy, but the traffic was earlier authorized probably. Well, I can reach the DNS. I cannot see the one before, but it was probably visible earlier. So I can see a lot of information for my traffic. So for troubleshooting, this is really ideal, and that's what I wanted to show you today. So let's clear that. We have other features, as I mentioned. If I'm going back to my slide just for a few seconds, for authentication, I can install that through some command line, and then I can show you how it's working. Same way for the encryption. So let's have a look at that. I think I can get that over there because I did prepare that beforehand. So to install the authentication, I need to use this command line. I will upgrade my configuration. And you can see I will add authentication enable, Spire enable to true. And how can I make it work? I can have a look in the authentication part. A network policy with authentication allowed will just choose this parameter authentication allowed to true. If we were to run it with interior environment and use again able to observe, you would see in the traffic analysis that we can allow the traffic after authentication, and usually we would get first a deny and then an authentication finished and then a traffic allowed. So that's how we do it for the authentication, which is quite useful. And we can also enable encryption with a similar command, as I said, like that. So I'm reusing the same value. I'm setting the encryption type to true and encryption type to WireGuard. And I also want to try the node encryption, but this is still in preview. And last time I checked, it was not working on my environment. But I can check that. I did prepare that. Well, I will need to check that. Let's forget that for now. So the encryption is set this time. I can check the Helm value. Get values encryption backup system, Cilium. And this time you can see that I have mutual authentication with Payer, I have encryption enabled with WireGuard, and I also have Hubble. So I won't get deeper into that because it will require an additional 55 minutes, which I don't get. I want to stop here, but you've seen that we can do a lot of things on this. But I'm showing we can do a lot of things with our encryption and with CNI on a network and security perspective. I'm not showing you the good screen since the beginning earlier. So just take a look at that. When I was saying get the Helm value, this is it, and we can see that I've configured everything. Let's go back to the slide before completing that. So if I check the Azure CNI powered by Cilium, as I showed you earlier, I can try to do some stuff, but it's not working. I cannot change it. I cannot install a lot of things because it's not made for it. Anyway, I hope it will be better afterward, but for now, we can go to the conclusion. And for the conclusion, I guess in Cilium it's the starting love story, I would say. We can do much more than in the past because we can do a self-managed Cilium with bring your own CNI, but we don't have enough capabilities available yet on Azure CNI powered by Cilium, which is what I hope to be able to do. I don't know how it will be leverageable because we have two competing offers. Azure CNI powered by Cilium versus Isovalent from the marketplace. One is using the enterprise version, the other is using I don't know, and maybe the feature to be ported on Azure CNI powered by Cilium, or depending on an agreement between Microsoft and Isovalent. I don't know yet. Hopefully, we will get more information. If you want currently to use Cilium with all of its features in AKS, either we use the Bring Your Own CNI, either we need to use Isovalent from the marketplace. There are other things to be considered when you talk about Cilium. I only focused on some network and security feature, but as I said, for application delivery, we have a gateway API. We also have some cluster mesh to have multi-cluster deployment in terms of server. So that's something that we could have a look, but we don't have time today, which make Cilium extremely powerful. The fact that it leverage eBPF is one reason enough to give it a try. And well, if we don't want to use it with a self-managed CNI, at least we can consider it for maybe either dev environment or with enterprise deployment with Isovalent deployment, which brings some money, but usually for production environment, it's not that rare to see that we use an enterprise deployment of a CNI. And that's all I wanted to say. So I'll say thank you for your attention, and thank you for being there. Remember to support the charity that is associated to this event from the Raspberry Foundation. It will be good to help people learn to code, and I hope to see you soon some other place. Thanks and bye.